one of my favorite NBA coaches of all time, and somebody whose coaching style that I pattern is allegedly a racist? Say it ain't so, Phil Jackson. Say it ain't so.
This has its own magic.
What's up, everybody? It's Coach Kev, aka Kevin A. Smith, coming back to you guys again today with another reaction video. Today I'm gonna react to Scottie Pippen's comments on head coach Phil Jackson. So Scottie Pippen played with Michael Jordan, that was Batman and Robin, Michael Jordan being Batman, and their head coach during those years with the Chicago Bulls was the one and only Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson is somebody I patterned his coaching style, I've read his book, and I've actually done a video about Phil Jackson and why I love Phil Jackson as a coach. So if you want to check that out after this video, check it out. The video is right there. But I come to find out Scottie Pippen allegedly calls Phil Jackson a racist. Man, before we get into these comments, do all that good YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, support. But let's go into it, man. What do you got to say, Scottie Pippen? This is your head coach, Phil Jackson. He coached arguably the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan, who is a black man. And he's a racist? That's what you're saying, Scottie Pippen? Let's find out.
Help me understand the GQ article.
All right, Scottie.
About the 1994 playoff game when you refused to go back in the game and Phil set up the play for Tony Kukoc.
Why was Bulls All-Star and team leader Scottie Pippen on the bench at the crucial climax of last night's showdown with New York? Channel 7's Brad Palmer has the story. Phil Jackson believes Scottie Pippen's defection was the culmination of a number of frustrating incidents.
It's a big moment in basketball history, too. Okay, Ewing?
The Bulls called a timeout and designed a play for Tony Kukoc. Scottie Pippen refused to go back in. Instead, he went to the end of the bench, necessitating a second timeout. Pippen and Jackson got into a cussing match, but Scottie still refused to budge. It wasn't,
So Scottie Pippen, because Phil Jackson didn't draw up the play for him, didn't want to get in the game.
We exchanged words and I just took a seat. So it was your decision based on frustration? Scottie, Phil just said you weren't in because you asked out of the play. Yeah, pretty much. Well, you weren't involved in it. Exactly. When you say exchange words, what happened? I have no comments on that. But the Bulls survived without Scottie. Tony Kukoc.
Oh, Kukoc hits it! So Phil Jackson calls a play for Tony Kukoc, who just hit the shot. He makes the shot, and Pippen doesn't want to come back in the game. So Pippen is on the bench like, I'm not playing. If I don't get the last shot, I'm not playing. And that just added insult to injury. Damn, Kukoc, you didn't have to hit it.
It was a well-called play by Jackson.
Well, I mean, there's not much to be said. If you go back and look at when Scottie Pippen entered the Bulls and when Tony Kukoc entered the Bulls, and who deserved the last shot of the game.
No, I understand that, Scottie. I'm just going by what you said. You said you need to read between the fine lines, and then you go on to say it was a racial move to give him, Tony Kukoc, a rod. So,
Well, I mean, if you knew that Scottie Pippen had been with the Bulls from '87, battled through the Pistons and every other team that we had to get to those 3 championships, wouldn't you give Scottie Pippen one opportunity to get him?
Yo, first of all, I love how he's talking in third person. People, this is like wrestling. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna be like, you know what? Wouldn't you give Coach Kev an opportunity to coach in the NBA or coach college basketball? Huh? Coach Kev has been a great guy. If it wasn't for Coach Kev being who he is, these kids wouldn't get so far. You know that man, Coach, like, nah, let me stop. Come on, Scottie.
Second shot without Michael Jordan. Like, 1 year without Michael Jordan. Can I get one shot? I'm doing all the dirty.
That actually makes sense.
well,
I'm
now
not
I
mad at
understand
that.
from the basketball standpoint. But when you say a racial move,
Well, why would Tony, who's a rookie, get the last second shot and you put me up for bounds? That's what I mean, racial. Like, that was Scottie Pippen's team.
but
Scottie
Phil
Pippen
then,
was
but-
on pace to be an MVP that year, right?
yeah.
Okay, well, why would you put him in a position not to be successful? Why wouldn't you put him in a position to succeed? Michael Jordan is not there. So who's next in line for you?
He chose not to go on the court last night for his own specific reason. I put in a better passer than Pete Myers. Besides, Scottie had a fat lip and looked ugly at that spot. And we got the job accomplished, and that's all that matters to us right now.
But have you talked to Phil about this? Because
Phil
by
Jackson
saying
is
a racial
funny.
move, and you're calling Phil a racist.
Uh-oh.
I don't got a problem with that.
Ah.
Do you think Phil what?
Ah. His response to calling Phil Jackson a racist, I don't have a problem with that.
Or is?
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you remember Phil Jackson left the Lakers, wrote a book on Kobe Bryant, and then came back and coached him?
He definitely did that.
Who would do that? You name someone in professional sports that would do that. You know? I think he tried to expose Kobe in a way that he shouldn't have. You're the head coach, and you're the guy that sits in the locker room and tells the players, this is a circle, and everything stays within the circle. Because that's what team is about. But you as the head coach, open it up. And now you go out and you try to belittle, at that time, probably one of the greatest players in the game.
Well, it feels like he's disloyal. I don't know if that makes him a racist.
Well, that's your
Yeah.
way of putting it out. And I have my way. I was in the locker room with him. I was in practices with him. You're looking for him afar.
Yeah, and look, that's why I wanted to have you on. But I go back, and Phil designed a play for Steve Kerr when Mike was there. And Mike didn't have a problem with that, did he?
I want to. You're not setting me up to answer the right question. What do you mean Phil set up a play for Steve Kerr? He didn't set that play up for Steve Kerr. He set that play up for Michael Jordan.
I thought in the huddle,
Scottie don't
Mike
like
said,
Phil
"I'm gonna throw you
bad."
the ball, you'll be open at the foul line." And Phil had nothing to do with that.
Man, you don't want to get this show started because it'll take us a long time. Do you know all those cameras that sit
So
in
this
that
is like a woman
hall
scoring.
working for?
The NBA.
You know who Michael was speaking to when he said that, right? That was planned. That was speaking to the camera. That wasn't speaking out of what we're gonna have to do, what the play is gonna be. That was speaking to the camera. Had John Stockton not came down, trust me. But that was building his own documentary because he knew he was controlling the cameras. You understand English?
Yeah.
That man said, do you understand English?
We're working basically for Michael Jordan, not for the Chicago Bulls.
But
They were building the Come Fly With Me, the Air Jordan videos. That's what it was. That was not naturally spoken.
Scottie is unloading. Bro, he said, do you understand English? Scottie. Scottie is scorned. He has pent up emotions, feelings, animosity. I don't know if you can go as far as say hatred. Scottie. Phil Jackson is a racist. Whew. So before we end this video, I just want to go to, so shout out to my guy, Kev on Stage. My guy, it's not my guy, but I mean, I watch him, support Kev on Stage. So he has this podcast, and he actually read off some things that Phil Jackson has said over his career in his past. So let's listen to what Phil Jackson has to say. Some things that Phil Jackson said.
Now,
Yeah.
before your thoughts, right?
Yeah, I read these.
This is what Phil Jackson, in the book that that Scottie's talking about, that Phil Jackson wrote. Listen to what Phil said in this book. I never read the book, so I didn't even know these quotes were in here. Phil Jackson quotes in his book Maverick: "White players are more often willing to run patterns and work collectively because of the predominance of these are different quotes.
Yeah.
Because of the predominance of blacks in pro basketball, the sport is rapidly disintegrating into a one-on-one sport." First of all, saying blacks like that.
Blacks.
There are only
Blacks.
5 or 6 NBA teams who can play with more than a superficial degree of team unity. On the Knicks, The starting front court played white basketball, while guards played black basketball.
Black
Another
basketball.
quote, black kids growing up want to be the superstar of their neighborhood. They want to be the toughest kids on the block, richest, or once they get to the playground, the best one-on-one basketball players. White kids, on the other hand, usually are raised in more homogenous environment, which provides other outlets for personal expression. They're also constantly being taught the principle of subordinating their own personal glory for the good of the group. He continues, in October 1999, I don't mean to say that as a snide remark towards a certain population in our society, but they have a limitation of their attention span. A lot of it probably due to too much rap music going in their ears and coming out of their beat.
A limitation of attention span because of rap music? Yo, bro, let's hit it. Yo, Phil Jackson, you're on some
They
BS.
have a limitation of their attention span. A lot of it probably due to too much rap music going in their ears and coming out of their beat.
Oh, man.
Coming out
son.
of their beat.
Please,
That's why
Phil.
you always twerking.
Please tell me you did not say this, Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson, please tell me you didn't say
And the
this.
last one that I felt on Twitter, October 2005, when asked about the dress code, I think it's important that the players take their end of it. Get out of the prison garb and thuggery aspect of basketball that's come along with hip-hop music in the last 7 or 8 years.
The prison guard and thuggery. Oh, Phil Jackson, bro. Ah, man. I don't know what to think after hearing this stuff, bro. Say it ain't so, Phil. That doesn't sound good. Everything you just said and all that stuff does not sound good, man. Damn, Phil, bro. Maybe Scottie is right, man. Maybe it's and like I said, Phil Jackson is one of the coaches I learned so much from his coaching style, his ability to coach, his mentality, just how he carries himself, and to find all of this out. Y'all let me know. Does that sound like a racist person to you? I don't know, bigotry or whatever. I don't know what other words you would use for this, but like, does that sound bad? Like, does that make Phil Jackson sound bad? Like, what do y'all think about Phil Jackson? After hearing all this stuff and diagnosing it for yourself, let me know what y'all think about Phil Jackson in the comments below, man. Man, I don't know what to say. Damn, this one hit hard.